So the topic of child support has come back up, and specifically, the one that caught my eye was the one saying, "Oh, so your child comes to you and asks you for a laptop, and then you want to tell him to ask the mama about the $250 that you're getting per month." Well, let's look at this, like in totality. Now, often, and this is why you can't listen to women about child support. Okay, most people, all right, people, men or women, regardless, right, are going to not speak against something that's in their favor. Okay. Now, as much as people want to act like $250 a month is nothing, right? Nothing at all. Right. At the end of the year, if I'm correct, that equals out to $3,000. Okay. And then, furthermore, if somebody walked up to you right now and offered you $250 for absolutely nothing at all, you wouldn't turn it down, right? So let's stop acting like hundreds of dollars. All right, don't add up to more money, over time, and that you're just gonna turn it down. Because if that was the case, you wouldn't be complaining about child support. All right, so let's walk this down. So first and foremost, the person that she was talking about, the child she was talking about, was 13 years old. All right. More likely than not, she didn't just start getting child support yesterday. So let's just say she's been getting that child support more likely than not for 13 years. When you do the math and you do $250 a month for 13 years, that's $39,000. Okay. So you mean to tell me this man has been paying child support for 13 years and you have been able to save anything? Now, mind you, I'm speaking from the lens of a involved father. If he's a father that's all he's doing is pay child support, so on and so forth, hey, it is what it is. I can understand the argument, but most men, most aren't doing that. Okay, most men that are paying child support, and they're involved in their children's lives. They pick them up, they spend time with them, they take them out to eat, they buy them birthday presents and Christmas presents. They show up for they're involved. Most fathers, all races, all demographics, right? Or involved. So y'all not even taking that into consideration. Women never consider the fact of the matter that, hey, so I'm not living with you. I have my own personal responsibilities. I gotta have a place to stay. I gotta have a car to drive. I gotta have food to eat for myself and provide for when the kids are with me and all those different things, right? But everybody acts like that doesn't exist on the man, on the father side. Okay? So he's paying rent, plus he's paying into your household for the child that you have, all right? And then he has also. And of course, too, the thing was made, 50 people, men that don't have 50-50 custody don't pay child support, or you pay child support, I mean you don't have 50-50 custody. Again, a lot of people don't know shit about child support, man. All right? Most people don't know. Most people don't even understand that child support and custody are two separate things. But that's another thing for another day. So, on the man side, he has to pay twice into his child. He has to pay a flat fee, and then he gets involved and does whatever he does on the other side. Now, and you never give him credit purposely. Now, again, if you have a father that does not do that, well, you did your child a disservice by picking an ain't shit father. Okay? First off, let's start with you there. Okay, we gotta talk about these deadbeat moms as much as y'all try to highlight these deadbeat dads because I am one that definitely believes the one outweighs the other. Being the mothers, deadbeat moms outweigh the fathers. Okay, way more, way more. Because again, more women have children, and even mathematically, more women have children than men, and a whole lot of other things, right? So when we really start walking this stuff down, all right, $250 a month ain't enough money. How? Right? Now, in infancy, and of course, hey, children are most expensive when we're just born. Diapers, formula, daycare, all this stuff, right? But once the child gets into school age, bro, are we really gonna act like what I'm saying? Unless you just have a super duper athlete, and that's not most children. The minority of children play sports. The minority of children do extracurriculars. But let's just count them. So outside of that, a child does not grow to the point of where he or she needs shoes and clothes monthly. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear shit about your utilities because a child does not consume enough utilities to bump up your bill per month for you to even consider that, unless you letting them turn the bathtub into a swimming pool every night, and that's your fault. So again, usually, like you said, hey, get stuff for a child as they grow out of things, clothes, shoes, whatever. let's just say that's twice a year. And even that, I would say, is kind of extreme. Usually it's like once a year, right? Right. $250 a month, just sticking on that, that's $3,000, right? If you are spending that $250 a month every single month on that child to 100%, that means you need to do some budgeting, or you could consider giving custody to the father. That's another thing you never talk about either. How many fathers out here fight for custody or tried to fight for custody, and then the whole thing, the moms is not cooperating. They're purposely interfering with their, them seeing the child and having a relationship with the child. Then they turn around and tell the child that your daddy don't want nothing to do with you, and he don't want to spend no money on you, right? That's a whole nother thing for another day too. But yeah, just the whole dynamic, man, and narrative of this child support thing is extremely, extremely biased. One-sided, and it's just downright lies. You know what I'm saying? It's not even a narrative, bro. It's a lie. A lot of these women that receive government assistance, I looked at the thing, and if you receive it, said 87% of TANF receivers were on child support because it's mandatory, right? And then I think it says like 25% of food stamps receivers are on child support, right? So why are you talking about food if you're receiving food stamps? If you're getting free money from the government for food, why are you even working that into the equation for the cost of the child per month? Well, purposely, again, because all they want to do is make it seem like men aren't paying enough money. And I've seen women say this from $250 to, remember, what was the girl's name on Love and Hip Hop? She said, what, $8,000 a month wasn't enough for a child, right? Y'all believe that Tyrese's wife should be getting $40,000 or $20,000 or whatever absorbent amount of money she's getting per month for a baby, right? And that brings me to the ultimate point of this whole child support thing. Child support, in most cases, okay, is a weapon and control mechanism for the father, who that woman, otherwise has no control over. I'm not gonna say a lot of the times. I say a decent amount of the times it's a dude that she wants, and he no longer wants her. So that's the quickest and easiest way to try and, regain control over that man that's pretty much moved past you, but still wants a relationship with his kids. Me speaking from my own personal experience, okay? Somebody that's out of the child support system, 18 years of paying child support, done it over with, right? And my kid, I got now, the younger one left, me and his mom, we don't have no child support. Whatever he needs, I take care of. If she needs some extra, whatever, so on and so forth, we both take care of our child mutually, okay? So that's how I say I know it can be done, but most women want to take it to the court system so that way she has a control mechanism over that man. The penalty of jail, the penalty of losing a license, the penalty of losing a job, which again, that's something that Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, whoever the hell wins this election, definitely needs to be. There should be no, like anything else, risk of being arrested for not paying child support. If anything, do like y'all do anyway and just snatch the money, either garnish it out of his wages automatically or snatch it whenever he files for a tax return. One of the two, right? But there's no way a man should have fear of, being able to not be able to take care of himself, right? And whatever, simply because, and it doesn't even have to be a lot behind. Bro, you can be literally less than $100 behind on child support because of that clerical error and still end up with a bench warrant for your arrest. And the state fucked it up. This has happened plenty of times too. But again, no one cares about the men because society tells you men are just, just take it. Shut up and take it. Be a man. It is what it is. You decided to have a kid with her. You should have chose better. Everybody says this shit to the man, but nobody says it to the woman. But anyway, so being a person that's paid paid out of the child support system, right? Never missed a payment. I overpaid actually, and I gotta talk to Florida because I'm trying to track down the money I overpaid, right? The mother of the situation specifically told me, right? Now, mind you, we were both in the military, both in the Navy at the time. She was higher ranking than me. She was closer to retired than me. All these things. She was getting more BAH than me and more pay, right? And she deliberately put me on child support for the maximum amount of money that she did not need for the sake of the children, but because she could get it, she got it. And it was deliberately in order to hurt me and at that time my wife and my newborn child. Okay? So she knew this. This was her children's out the children that we had together, twins, right? We had twins. their sibling that's coming into this world, and she didn't give a fuck. She wanted me to lose everything I had. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't work out that way. You know what I'm saying? She wanted to be one way, but it was the other way because I filed my own custody agreement or whatnot, what have you. Filed for custody. I had to establish paternity because we weren't married. A lot of men don't know that part of it, and a lot of women know it, and men, these women know this, bro. You just don't know it, right? But had to file for paternity for my kids. They awarded her the maximum amount of child support because being that when she filed for child support, she knew I didn't have any rights to my kids, so I couldn't have any custody. So I'm playing behind the 8 ball, but I get everything established, so on and so forth, right? And paying the child support, damn near crippled everything. But, you know, this happened still during the time where the recession shit was still going on. So I was able to pretty much readjust and reassess everything from my mortgage to whatever. So I didn't lose my house and all these different things. Oh, and by the way, it was $1,133, right? $1,100.33 for 2 kids, right? Oh, that ain't a lot of money. Well, it is a lot of money if you are already at your, you know, where you should be financially. You know what I'm saying? You got everything fucking paid to the way it's supposed to be, and you have, let's say, $1,500 left or $1,000. Say you got $1,000 left because it'll be less, right? You got $1,000 left per month, right, for all your bills and everything, and this is responsible spending. Now they put $1,133 on you. Where are you at now? You're in a hole, right? And mind you, like I said, still during this time, I've always been an involved father. Always spent time with my kids and so on and so forth. So I had to, you know, scrape and do everything else just to even be able to see my kids within this time. And she didn't care. That was the thing was she didn't want me to have a relationship with my kids because she was mad that I moved on and I got married, and it wasn't to her, of course. And I continued on with my family. You know, it is what it is, right? But this whole thing, to where I was paying the $1,133, and you know, went to the court, explained everything to the judge, so on and so forth. And she said, "Hey, it says that I may, all right." And she's not going to consider it, so she awarded her a maximum amount for the thing. With that money, she got a new truck. The kids had like the best Christmas ever. Everybody got iPads, and not just my kids, the kids she had that wasn't for me, right? Whatever. It was just wonderful, great, glorious, right? And for that time, I had to wait until I had another hearing for adjustment of child support. I tried to talk with her, negotiate with her, and tell her through the mediation over the phone, right? Hey, listen, I'm willing to offer you pretty much $600. It would have been over half, right, of what I'm paying you now. You know, because this is killing me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to reestablish myself financially, so on and so forth. You put me in a hole. She didn't care. Hey, you're just going to have to pay what the court say you're going to pay. She said this to me, right? The 1133. So I'm like, okay, cool, fine. So I'm like, hey, listen, I've done the research. I'm representing myself. I'm telling you, due to the statutes and this and this and this and this and this, you should probably take the deal. And the mediator, who shouldn't have even been given no commentary on it. He was, the state of Florida not gonna do that. State of Florida not gonna do that. And I'm like, all right, you want to listen to this dude? You want to listen to me? But of course, no. She saw the money and her, intense hatred for me. You know what I mean? So she didn't listen. So we finally get to the hearing for child support. Right? Give them all my information. Show them the now custody agreement that we have, and I was credited back. A surplus in child support, right? And the child support would cut down to $400 a month for 2 kids. Okay? At first, I kind of felt bad about that. But then I remember, I said, hey, whoa. When I was begging and pleading with this woman, right, to reduce the child support so I didn't lose my house, so I didn't lose my car, so my credit didn't get destroyed and demolished or whatever, so on and so forth. She, no, and remember, I offer her $600, right? But then I remember, I was like, nah, you know what? Fuck it. She'll be all right. She'll be all right. Mind you, like I said, at the time, I think she was still in. She had not retired yet. She was on the way to retirement, whatever. She still had good money. So I'm thinking, and that's another thing men don't get credit for too. You know what I'm saying? Society guilts us into thinking that, if we not willing to get fucked over, we somehow, want to, cheat our kids. No, that's not the case. So it got knocked down to $4 something a month or whatever it was, right? 2 kids. And she tried to use that for the rest. Oh, you don't give me no money. Well, hey, just give me the kids. You know what I'm saying? Give me the kids. I'll take the kids. I'll take them. If you can't afford them, I can take them. And that's another thing too. These women use these kids, bro, for their own monetary motherfucking what's name and control over men, bro. If you can't afford the kids, why you got them? If you so broke and whatever as to where what that man gives you does not help, either A, give him more time with the kids so that you know, decreases your financial burden, or B, give him custody. Everybody talks about, man, these dads don't. No. Women deliberately keep these kids away from their kids, keep these men away from their kids, bro. That's what happens. That's the truth of the fact of the matter. And the state sides with it because, again, more likely than not, the man's going to be more financially stable, right? So, and again, I just saw this too. 2018 child support brought in, they said $87 billion. These states, bro, they not trying to do nothing to change no child support. Everybody getting over, but the men. So, at the end of the day, man, listen, $250, not much, right? Per month. But especially, you know, as the child gets to the point of where they don't have all these things or whatever, and later on in life, and that's another thing too. Why aren't y'all just giving the money to the kid once they hit 15, 16 years old, so on and so forth? Why don't you just, hey, put it either in a college fund or put it in a bank account just for them straight, because it's supposed to be for the child. At that point, kids are pretty much like, hey, you should be able to maintain your fucking way of living regardless, just like the dad has to do. That dad has to have a fucking, if he got one kid, a 2-bedroom apartment, if he got 2 kids, you know, a boy and a girl or whatever, 3-bedroom apartment, usually so on and so forth, and he does that, right? Nobody's considering, well, he got to pay rent. Well, yeah, he's got to pay rent and he has to pay child support outside of it. So why the fuck does the mom get a break or any sympathy for the amount of bedrooms she got to have for the child she chose to have, right? But of course, again, that's the way society does it. But for the dads out there, man, shout out to the dads, man. For you guys out there that are taking care of your children, you know, financially and, you know, morally and just being involved. Shout out to you guys. We know your pain, all right? But don't listen to these women, bro, when they talk about child support. They just don't. Again, most of the women on child support are on it. Again, that too, when they get in, like I said, child support is the biggest fucking slush fund from a state side and to recipient side and fraud, okay? These women are not spending this. That's why they never going to put it on the card and see what these women actually spend the fucking money on, because all of them be going to jail, all right? If you were to take any other type of money where you were given, state mandated, forced and whatever for the state, right? Like let's do food stamps, right? If they find out that your ass is selling them food stamps for cash, what you gonna do with them food stamps? You're gonna lose them, right? Well, it should be the same for motherfucking child support, all right? But again, they're never gonna do it because they know these women aren't going to spend the money just on the child, man, solely. They're not, all right? And there's no way you should be spending, you know, all the money over 18 years for your child and not have nothing to show for it. No, you need to work more hours. You need to get better employment. You need to make more money, just like you keep saying everything about the man. Okay? And we seen this shit too. Shout out to 50 Cent. 50 Cent baby mama was getting millions of dollars over 18 years. And what happened when, as soon as that kid was there, all to the end, broke. So it's not about the amount of money. It's about the way that the women spend the money after they get it. And again, like I said, I would say 75% of the time, it's not on the child. That's all I got, man. I'll catch y'all on the next one.